Kashmir dispute has made India-Pakistan relations one of the most complex relationship in the world. 3 wars has been fought. First in 1947-48. The war was brought to an end by an UN-mediated ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Line of control become the control of both the countries, that is between India-administered Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistan-administered Jammu and Kashmir. The dispute did not end here. 1965. Again, there was a dispute. This time, the Pakistan army planned an operation against India, that is Operation Gibraltar. The objective behind this operation is to infiltrate militants into Jammu and Kashmir and to create a militant-led revolution in Jammu and Kashmir. But the operation was effectively thwarted by the government of India. Subsequent to this, the Pakistan army launched a full-fledged war against India, Operation Grand Slam. And India has successfully defended itself. Not only India defended herself, but also pushed the Pakistan army into their respective territories. Again, the war in 1965 was brought to an end by the UN-mediated agreement between India and Pakistan, which culminated in what is called as the Tashkent Agreement, which was majorly brokered by two major powers, that is USA and USSR. The war did not stop here. The third war was called as the Kargil War in 1999. Again, the Pakistan army has tried to take control of some of the military posts in the Kargil sector, that is part of India. Indian army launched Operation Vijay to control of the post back. So these were the major wars that was fought between India and Pakistan when it comes to the Kashmir dispute. However, apart from these 3 wars, one war between India and Pakistan is notable, and that war is significant because it has changed the position of India in the South Asian region. India has become a regional power after this war in 1971, which is also called as the Bangladesh Liberation War. We are going to discuss about this war. First, we'll try to understand under what background the Bangladesh war happened or the Bangladesh Liberation War has started. To understand the background of this war, we'll have to go back to the partition of Pakistan from the British India. The Indian Independence Act partitioned British India into India and Pakistan. But if you see Pakistan, there were two parts. One is the West Pakistan and another is the East Pakistan. The West Pakistan dominated by the Punjabis, and mostly they were speaking the Urdu language. Whereas in the East Pakistan, it was the Bengali Muslims and they are talking Bengali language. So therefore, the divide between them is quite natural. The divide was very significant in terms of their ethnic background, linguistic differences, and also in their political ambitions. The West Pakistan dominated the bureaucracy. The West Pakistan dominated the army. So overall, the West Pakistan dominated the East Pakistan. And for a long period of time after the partition, the East Pakistan was getting a stepmotherly treatment from West Pakistan. But things changed after the 1970 general elections. 1970 general elections, the Awami League, a major party in East Pakistan, which was founded by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who is also called as the Banga Bandhu, the father of Bangladesh, had a landslide victory, won 160 seats out of 300 seats in the National Assembly in Pakistan. Awami League had the majority to form the government in Pakistan. But however, the president, then president of Pakistan, Yahya Khan, was not willing to transfer the power. The president was supported by the major political parties in West Pakistan, like the Pakistan's People Party, which was led by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. They're not willing to transfer the power to the Awami League because of their fear that they could lose the control. And because of this reason, they're not willing to transfer the power immediately, against which a nationalist movement was started in East Pakistan. A nationalist movement with an aspiration of transferring the power. To suppress this movement, the Pakistan government, as directed by the President of Pakistan and with the support of other political parties, they launched Operation Searchlight, a military offensive operation against the nationalist movement in East Pakistan. It was said that more than 3 million people were killed in this Operation Searchlight, mostly students, political leaders who favored the nationalist movement in East Pakistan, and also the intelligentsia who were in favor of the nationalist movement. Millions of people fled Bangladesh, East Pakistan at that point of time, and they tried to enter into India. In fact, it was estimated around 10 million people started fleeing East Pakistan and they started to enter into India. It is in this backdrop, there was an army or a Bangladesh Liberation Army which fought against the Pakistan army. They, along with the Awami League, they sought the support of the Indian leadership. They requested for the Indian intervention in the entire process. According to the political scientists, there are multiple reasons as to why India engaged in the Bangladesh Liberation War. In fact, the most important reason is the ideological reason. Ideologically, India being a democratic state, so it is rightful that there is a peaceful transfer of power after the elections. That is what democracy is all about. So India was justified in ensuring democratic process after the elections, that there shall be responsible transfer of power. But this was not happening, so India could intervene. The second reason, as per the experts, is it is a humanitarian intervention. More than 3 million people killed, 10 million people were displaced, entering into India as illegal migrants. So there is a need for a humanitarian intervention. Third, a lot of people migrating into India had also created security concerns, especially internal security concerns to India. And on top of all those things, there was also an unilateral aggression or a preemptive strike which was carried out by Pakistan army against India. And all these justified India to enter into war and liberate Bangladesh sooner. So after the preemptive strike by the Pakistan army, India entered into war with Pakistan. And in fact, India entered into a peace agreement, a treaty of peace, friendship and cooperation with USSR in 1971. And subsequently, India entered into war with Bangladesh at that point of time, East Pakistan. And it was in December 1971, the Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh today, was surrounded by the Indian army. And Indian army was able to capture almost 93,000 personals of Pakistan army approximately. So the entire army in Dhaka of Pakistan surrendered in front of Indian army and they were taken as prisoners of wars. And subsequently, on December 14, 1971, East Pakistan became Bangladesh, or Bangladesh was liberated from Pakistan. And India played a very instrumental role in doing this. In fact, this war, that is the India-Pakistan War 1971, that led to liberation of Bangladesh, had its own significance. It played a very important role in changing the power dynamics in South Asia. After the India-Pakistan War in 1971, India is considered to be a regional power in South Asia. Not only it was considered to be a regional power, it also led to what is called as Shimla Agreement, the agreement that was signed between India and Pakistan, which led to the end of the war in 1971, in exchange to which India also released all the prisoners to Pakistan. In fact, the Simla agreement is very significant because the Simla agreement made it very clear that any future dispute between India and Pakistan would be resolved bilaterally, and there is no role for any mediation in the future. So these are all some of the important significance that has happened after the 1971 war, but the war had its own criticism as well. In fact, one of the criticism of the 1971 war is it has widened the gap between India and USA. In fact, USA at that point of time was not in favor of Indian intervention in liberating Bangladesh. And India has also signed a peace treaty with USSR. Remember, at that point of time, India's stated policy was non-alignment. So it was seen that India is moving closer to USSR. Second, experts also claim that the 1971 war and liberation of Bangladesh led to permanent hostility between India and Pakistan. Though it has its own criticism, but definitely the 1971 war has made India a regional power. India has proved its military might, and India has also made it very clear that India will not shy away from making interventions on humanitarian grounds and for ideological reasons. Despite this war and despite the Kashmir dispute, today the India-Pakistan relations continues to have certain other disputes, especially the disputes in the areas of cross-border terrorism, infiltration, ceasefire violations, trade disputes, water sharing disputes, and of course, India believes that any dispute between India and Pakistan should be resolved bilaterally. But Pakistan in number of forums looking for a third-party mediation. Now, all these issues continue to exist between India and Pakistan, which we'll discuss in the next episode. Thank you very much. Till then, all the best.